Imam Zain al-Abidin says something very interesting. He says there are 4 rights your father has over you. The first of them, never call him by his name. Today, wallah, I see people, sons, he calls someone, hey Muhammad. You're like, oh, who's Muhammad, your brother? He says, no, my dad. Number 1, you don't call your father by his name. Number 2, never walk in front of your father in a gathering. Let him go in, then you. Some of us, when we come home, when we get out of the car, we've run inside, remote control, watching, sitting. The father's outside, the poor man with the shopping bags. Some of us, when we come into the mosque, we're with our father together, then we walk in before him. No, Imam says your father always walks in ahead of you. Number 3, and quite beautifully, don't sit down in a gathering until your father sat down. When your father sits, then you sit. I remember one famous speaker, his son, I would always see him when the dad is walking to Minbar, about to give lecture. Wherever the son is in the crowd, he'll stand. Until the dad sits, then he sits where he is. I asked him one day, I said to him, whenever your dad goes up to give lectures, you're in the crowd, I see you, you stand up until your dad sits. He goes, yes. Imam Zain al-Abidin says, don't sit until your dad sits. My dad stood up, I have to stand up. When my dad then sits, only then I sit. Number 3. Number 4, the most important. Don't do anything that brings abuse to your dad's reputation. Youth in the crowd today. Youth listening around the world. I know some of you enjoy the world of drugs. I know. You don't need to think that I live in a different planet to you. Look at me, you'll realize I'm in the same planet as you. I know there are some of you who are smoking the drugs without your dads knowing. And between you and your dads, you may think, between you and yourself, you may think this is right. If you're not gonna stop it because it's haram, at least stop it so you don't damage dad's reputation. Because when the community sees your dad, they'll say, look at him, he comes to the mosque, his son is like this. Imam says, don't do things which bring abuse to your dad's rep. Those of you who are drinking alcohol around the Muslim world who listen to this lecture, I know you may justify it. I know you may say you're not religious at the moment. I don't care. Just don't do things that hurt your dad's rep. Your dad's worked hard to look after you in this world. I had a friend of mine in the Iraqi community. He was getting married. He said to me, would you come to the wedding? Now you know, people like myself, we're only invited to nikah. No one invites us to receptions. I don't know why. They always invite me to the boring events. I get invited to the nikah. I hear next day there's a great reception, no one ever invites me. Why? Sayyid Ammar sees what's going on in the reception, he's not going to be happy. Okay. Allah sees, don't worry. My friend came up to me and said, listen, it's my wedding, I want you to be there. I said, Habibi, you know, I don't really attend weddings at all. He said, give me a piece of advice, I beg you, just one piece. I said, you may get a lot of pressure from your friends to play music in your wedding. Don't start the first day in haram of your marriage. Start in obedience to Allah. He said to me, why? I said, is your dad going to be at the wedding? He said, yes. I said, your dad might smile when you guys are all dancing. Deep down he's hurt. I said, can your dad invite his Maulana friends to the wedding? He said, no, he's not going to. I said, why? He said, because he knows what we're going to get up to is going to be embarrassed. I said, so don't embarrass your dad. Save his reputation. This whole wedding day is because of your dad's juhud for you. Your dad struggles for you. You know what he said to me? He said he had the wedding. Afterwards I asked him, how was it? He said, everyone was telling me, put some music, let's dance, put some DJ, let's dance. He said, wallah, I remembered your words. I could see my dad sitting in the wedding. I said to him, no music in my wedding. No way. No way. There is not going to be any music. This is my wedding, my father. I'm not going to damage his reputation. I'm not going to have the whole community saying, this is what his son does. Now that person is happily married with a beautiful daughter, fantastic marriage. And whenever he sees me, he tells me, that day I started in halal, yes, until now I see the rewards of my marriage. And others who started in haram, their marriages went really shaky. Therefore, what do you find? You find that the fourth one is what? Don't bring that which brings damage to your dad's rep. Yes, you may enjoy, but Imam Zayn al-Abidin says what? The fourth right of your father is you don't bring something that damages the rep. And that's why the question arises. If